one of the discussion in the book is about congressional caucuses and the fact that members of the American Sikh Congressional Caucus are also members of the India Caucus. So we need to just talk about what caucuses are. Caucuses are amongst the members of Congress who feel that they represent or they wish to be part of a group of individuals that are something that's important to them. For instance, it could be a simple thing as the bike caucus, and others, personal caucuses, people with Alzheimer's, autism, and cancer. So many different issues. And of course, then there's the foreign side of it in terms of countries and nations. So a member can be on many different caucuses, and I encourage you to go and just Google Americans on the congressional caucuses in the United States Congress, and you will see a list of 174 or more caucuses, and some have maybe 5 members, and to the extreme, some have 200 members, thereabouts. The American Sikh Congressional Caucus, when it was formed in 2013, had started with 28 and has always hovered around 50, 55, 60 members. So the discussion comes, why are certain members on the Indian caucus and why are they on the Sikh caucus? Well, the easy way to explain is, let's take an example, a member of Congress, Sheila Jackson Lee from Texas. Now, she happens to be also the chair of the Pakistan caucus. She's been a member of the American Sikh Congressional Caucus. She's on the India caucus. So another member, Eric Swalwell, in this community is a member of the India caucus, the American Sikh Congressional Caucus, and maybe in other caucuses as well. Now, Rick Larson is the chair of the China caucus, and he's also on the Indian caucus. So does it mean that China is going to tell him to do something against India, or India is going to tell him to do something against China? It's nothing to do with that. They represent a community, they feel, and a thought, and that caucus is created. So let's take Eric Swalwell. He has a large Indian community and a Sikh community. So he feels that he should be on that caucus to be able to have a voice and bring thought to that caucus or talk about those issues. So caucuses have members from different members on different caucuses. Is there an ulterior motive for them to be on the India caucus who are infiltrating Sikh caucus? No. In all the times and in all the briefings that have occurred for the American Sikh Congressional Caucus, to our knowledge, there's never been somebody saying from the India caucus, this should not happen. Now, what has happened for the fact is that when American Sikh Congressional Caucus was formed, the Indian ambassador in DC came in and told members of Congress that this caucus should not have been made. So there's an external interference in the American system. But within members of Congress, there is none. Having said that, why is it these individuals, and I'll name them, Amar Shergill, Bhajan Singh Pinder, using Mr. Frederick to bring this opposition against members of Congress in the American Sikh Congressional Caucus? Why are they misleading and the general public, the Sangat, maliciously, that there's something nefarious going on within the American Sikh Congressional Caucus? Again, I'll bring the point about Ro Khanna back to you again. Mr. Ro Khanna is the co-chair of the Indian caucus. Mr. Shergill supports him. Mr. Ro Khanna is a member of the Pakistan caucus, the India caucus, and other caucuses. Why is he not a member of the Sikh caucus? We don't have a problem, but we're just asking, why is that a question? And why is it Amar Shergill supporting him even now when, as you know, Kamala Harris, who was a state senator for California, became now vice president, and Amar Shergill writes to the governor Newsom asking that Ro Khanna should replace Ms. Harris as a state senator. So where is this alignment going here? On one hand, we are criticized that Indian members are on the Indian on the American Sikh Congressional Caucus. Yet, at the same time, Mr. Amar Shergill supports these individuals. So again, it is unfortunate that individuals like these have been spewing the wrong information to the Sikh Sangat for the years on, all the way from the inception of the caucus. It's unfortunate, and they understand the system. It's not as if they don't understand it. They do. But they're making the Sangat, giving a different message, a wrong message to the Sangat in this issue. So if we talk to many of the political people and tell them that, hey, a member of Congress is on a caucus X and Y, and they will laugh at you. That if you tell them that, people say, well, that's unfortunate. They understand the system. So do Mr. Shergill, Mr. Pajan Pinder, and of course, Mr. Frederick. It is a laughing matter. So they have continued to do this and throwing it out, as the old saying goes, that if you throw something against the wall, maybe something will stick. Now, if Mr. Ro Khanna were to join the American Sikh Congressional Caucus, we have no power to force him to come on it, or for us to say, for instance, that Ami Bera should leave the American Sikh Congressional Caucus. So we have power nor to tell somebody to come on a caucus or to be kicked off a caucus. It is the purview of the congressional member to choose what caucuses he chooses to go on, and that is within their purview of power.